Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the description box below, yes, I passed my dental hygiene national boards the first time. Glory be to God, it's done. Hallelujah, praise God. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just so happy, y'all. I'm so happy. I'm here today to tell you guys how I passed, what tools I used, and just give you guys some encouragement, because I know it's not easy. Trust and believe. I understand. I've been battling with anxiety for many years, okay? And I want to be able to give you guys the tools necessary to do what I did, which is the pass. So y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, lesson number 1, your study book. There are quite a few study tools out there that you guys can use to pass your boards. My school utilizes Student RDH, which is by Claire. She is an amazing person. Like, she is so sweet, y'all. I signed up for Claire's emails well before I got my study book. I got my study book back in March, and we slowly started using the study book in school, but we were still trying to get through school. So as you know, I wasn't studying like that. I was trying to pass my classes so I can get to my board test. So once I graduated and once I passed through the pinning ceremony, which was June 18th, the last video I showed you guys, that's when I started studying. I gave myself a good month to start studying for my boards. Some of you guys might need longer. I've seen people on like certain student dental posts, dental hygiene posts on Facebook and stuff like that say they gave themselves 3 to 4 months. You might need that, but I know me, I know how I study. Give me a good month and I'll be good. But this is not the type of test where you just take a couple of weeks to study for, guys. Like, you really need to go back through and read some of the stuff that you haven't really read through in a while. Dust those books off. Radiology was one of the first classes we took when it came to like pre-clinic. So I knew I needed to go back over my radiology. I knew I needed to go back over my micro. So certain classes that you know that you've been struggling with, I highly recommend going back over that. But of course, this book is going to go through the majority of the stuff that you need to know. But if you need more in-depth understanding as to why and how this answer is what it is, I highly recommend going back, dusting your books off, and going to look at them, because you might find a better understanding as to why certain things are the way they are. Claire just kind of goes over questions. Like, she'll tell you stuff, but if you need a more deeper approach, like I said, go back over it. But I love this book. She breaks down everything. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like on the inside. Gives her a little, synopsis as to who she is. She's a registered dental hygienist. What I did like about this book, which I didn't utilize, but I wish I did, that it gives you it basically time blocks. So what you do is, these are all the subjects that are in this book, and you will go through these and you will test yourself. Let me see. Yeah, so this is a scale of confidence right here. And you're just going a scale of 1 through 10. How do you feel about this subject? As well as your first quiz. There are quizzes at the end of the module. There are 2 quizzes. The first quiz you go through without reading, and the second quiz you go through at the end of your module once you read through the whole chapter, and you'll quiz yourself again. And then it gives you days that you need to study. As you can see, I didn't do any of this with self-confidence. And set 2 quiz score right here. And it also gives you your mock exam score as well. Like I said, I studied with her information online, so I didn't really utilize this part. I would just read. I like to go back and forth reading on the screen and reading on the book, because sometimes my eyes will get tired. So that's one of the reasons why I just used online. And plus, I wanted to get used to looking at a screen for a long period of time anyway, because the test is online. It's on the computer. So I might as well just train myself so there aren't any surprises to my brain when I actually go through and take the test. So that's part of her her studying methods, as well as self-assessment. How do you feel about taking national boards? Do you have a board exam date? Do you feel nervous about the board exams? If yes, how can you overcome this weakness? I said yes by sticking to a good study habit, which I did. It says, do you actively make mnemonics or tricks to retain information? If not, prepare to make ton of memory tricks. And that is the biggest thing that I have taken away from Claire. Actually, I study like this. I study in ways that don't make sense. I come up with things that don't make sense, but I can remember when I read it. So Claire does that a lot. That's what Claire is made of. She just comes up with abbreviations, acronyms, sounds. She draws even things that can help jog your memory. That's what studying is about. It's not that you necessarily need to know exactly why or know exactly what this is, but what is going to jog your memory to remember this. That's the biggest thing. And that truly helped me, especially when it came to jotting things down. But I'm going to get to that later. But yes, this book is actually for sale too if somebody wants to buy it. I'm not using it anymore. But yes, this is what I use to study for my dental hygiene board. Claire is online, like I said. She is great. She has live board reviews online for those who can't make it, for those who are still worried about COVID. It's a great process. It's a great tool. She is also on Instagram. By the way, this is not a sponsor, but it can be Claire if you want to, girl. I'm here. I'm not working yet, so, you know, a check is nice. But anyway, as you can see, I did highlight a lot. I'm a highlighter. I like to read, and I like to highlight. I like to scribble, whatever helps me to remember. And the highlighters that I use, and I'm going to show you guys, I love it. I'm going to tag everything. I'm going to tag everything down in the description below. Don't worry. I'm missing some, but these are the highlighters that I use. These are the Bible highlighters by Mr. Pen. And these are amazing. They're gel, so they don't bleed through. You can highlight as much as you want and they don't bleed through, and they're very bright. I use the yellow a lot and I use the orange, so I think those are gone, but they're all great. They're all great highlighters to use. It is great. No smear, no bleeding across paper. They're acid-free highlighters, so go get you guys some. It's on Amazon and I'll link it below. And another thing with Mr. Pen is the tabs. I'm a tab girl. I'm missing another one. This is my second Mr. Pen tab collection. I ran through the other one because I love tabs. Tabs help me to remember what I need to focus on more. I think my biggest struggle with studying as far as subjects are concerned was, what was it? I took my tabs out because I'm trying to sell this. Oral path, which wasn't hard. It was just a lot of memorization that I needed to go back over, like as far as pictures are concerned. Oral path and radiology, because the sieverts and the rims and the rads, that was just too much for me. And I was just like, So we're gonna go back and mark this, and we'll go back after we're done studying everything. We'll go back over the hard stuff. So this is what it looks like. The inside, the back, it's real simple. It has so many different things. Like if you want to jot some notes down to remember, you can. If you want to just tab everything, you can. Like, it's a great tool to use. I just put it in my pencil box, and I just carried it along with me whenever I needed to write something down or remember something. So yes, guys, if you have any more questions about Claire, I will tag her information down below, because there's going to be a lot of information. I could talk about her all day, but it's a lot. It's going to be a long video. But I love using Claire. And the second book I used was this case studies book. Case studies is a huge part of your dental hygiene exam. I know it's like some people don't like it, some people love it. I had a love-hate relationship with this, because once I understood what was going on, I truly appreciated the case studies. I believe the case studies saved my black behind. I struggled a lot with the boards, only because it had some medications that I really didn't remember, and the suffixes and prefixes that I never recognized when I was taking it. So it was hard for me to actually, I felt like it was a difficult time for me, but I passed, so maybe I guess good, I don't know. But the case studies was a very big help for me. I remember these case study questions because my dental hygiene director at school made sure that if we did not have a patient during clinic, that we would have to take out a case studies case and go through it and just, work our way through it, because she knew that it was going to be a time where we take our boards that we would have to remember, work through our case studies. Case studies is like real life situations, guys. So it's something that you have to get used to, going through. It's actually easy once you piece everything together. You got your anatomy, your oral path, your intraoral cameras, your charting. You get everything combined on paper. And so this case studies book was really helpful to me. What I would do is I would go through the case studies, of course, and I would actually look at because I was kind of short for time. It was getting kind of down to the nitty gritty, but I still want to make sure I go through my case studies. So I would go through their patient history, of course. I would go through their radiographs, and I'll go through their intraoral pictures. And I would just look through everything, glance at what type of restorations they might have, what they might not have. Is anything missing, filled, anything that they could possibly have. What type of medications are they on? As medications can be contradictory to what processes or procedures you might give to your patient. So keep that in mind when you are reading over their medical history. I would highlight things. I would highlight chief complaints is a really big part, because that's the first thing that you're going to take care of when you're taking care of your patient. Blood pressure, vital signs, another huge part. All of this is important, guys. So make sure you're going over this, especially the tooth charting, because there have been some trick questions in this book that I realized that I actually caught, that they might ask you a question about the tooth that they don't even have. So be mindful of the teeth they have. They ask you a question about tooth number 25. Go back and make sure that they actually have tooth number 25 before you answer the question. You might see tooth number 25 in a picture, but they pulled it. They extracted the tooth. So make sure that everything is where it needs to be before you actually answer the question, because they tried to get me, but I realized what was going on. If you do make a mistake and you get an answer wrong, go back and look at what you got wrong. You might see something that you didn't see beforehand. Like, I got a question wrong about retention pins. I guess I got it confused with gutta percha or whatever, but I went back and I wrote down retention pins, so I knew exactly what this was. And lo and behold, they gave me a question on retention pins in the board, and I got it right. I know I did, because I remember I was like, oh, y'all trying to get me, but you did it. Yes. So please be mindful of that. This is a great book. Let me show you guys again. Highly, 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 highly recommend. I'm sure most of you guys will probably have this book anyway, but for those who don't, this is what it looks like. This is for sale as well. I'm trying to sell all my books before I move. But this is the book. Pearson also has online. As you know, Pearson is the one that are conducting the national boards, if I'm correct. They are the ones that have the centers where you test. So it's called Pearson View, and Pearson is where you test that. So highly recommend this book. I believe case studies are about 25% of your boards, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but case studies is a huge part. I think I'm gonna link the other part below. There is a on the national board website, I think they show you the percentage of the subjects that they have. I know that I studied the majority of my community, because community was like 30%, I believe, of the board, and it was a lot of community questions. So study your community as well, guys. I had a lot of community. Thankfully, my teacher made sure that we understood how to break down community questions, what was important, what was the patient's needs, and what procedures or planning would you give your patient. And that was a huge part, and I believe that also allowed me to pass, because I really focus on case studies and community, because I don't know why. It's not like we're going out to the community and being in a bus or whatever and doing these trials and, studies, but it was a huge part of the national board, and I wanted to pass the national board, so I made sure I went over that as well. And the last thing is the NDHBE app. I did not use NDHBE book because I already had the student RDH book, but I used the NDHBE app, and I used it because it was handy, it was readily available, and it had things that Claire didn't necessarily teach with the book. So I'm gonna break it down. So with Claire teaches you, she wants you to learn and understand what's going on, the processes, what things look like, what they are. Andy is going to make sure you know what they are. What is this? He's going to ask you the question of what is this? He's not going to teach you necessarily through the app. Andy app has case studies. He has flashcards on all the subjects that you'll be testing on. And he has flashcards, case studies, and he has some other things. I love the app because it just made everything concrete. If I didn't know something, I went back to Claire and I reread. And a lot of the stuff kind of went hand in hand. He just has different teaching methods. He doesn't necessarily give you a way to remember, to jog your memory, like wake up memory technique the way that Claire has. His is more so, this is what it is. This is what you need to know. If you don't know it, go back and read. Which I like. It wasn't bad because that's kind of straightforward. And the test is very straightforward. They didn't give you any hints. Like they just ask you a question. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling now. Excuse me, my voice is a little today. But yeah, and also want to show you guys the books I'm selling. Like I said, I'm moving to Georgia, so I'm trying to get rid of these books. If you are interested, DM me on my Instagram. Please don't do Facebook. DM me on my Instagram if you're interested. Depending on what's going on, I will give you a discount depending on how many books you buy. But yeah, and also last but not least, how can I forget? We made it to 1,000 subscribers. Give yourself a hand. Thank you so much. I'm just so happy. Like, this is a growing field. This is a growing community. It's great to see somebody with your skin complexion up in the field that you want to go into. So I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for you guys. Keep those questions rolling in. I will take you guys along with me on my journey. We are actually going to be going apartment shopping soon in Georgia to see, you know, what area we don't want to live in. I kind of already know where I want to live, but you never know. You might find something that you might like along the way. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. I do have my job secured. She's starting soon. I'm not going to tell you guys where because you just never know these days. People crazy. But I do want to thank you guys for the support. I love my job. It's a corporate job. It pays very, very well. It's nothing like Alabama. I might do a whole nother video on the comparison, contrast of Alabama, as well as doing a video soon on how to acquire your license in the state of Georgia. I might do one on Alabama, but I'm not even pursuing that yet because I just want to get started working. Alabama is expensive for no reason. So yeah, guys, I hope this video helped you guys. I know it's kind of all over the place. I was just so excited to make this video for you guys. Like, oh my God, I passed. So all I need to do now, I got all my paperwork ready for my board license. So all I need to do is hand it in. I've done everything, took pictures, copied, signed here, signed there, got notarized. I've done everything I need to, so it's done. I just got to start working. But I will link everything down below that I've mentioned. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, I will let you guys know. Also, one more thing. The day before you take your test, do not study. I did not study. That's the best tip I can give you. If you don't know it, you're not going to know it the day before. That's just facts. I did not study while I was sitting in the parking lot waiting to go in and take my test. Like, I literally just gave it to God. God, I trust you. I prayed diligently. I'm going to show you some clips of what I did to relax the day before. I took me a bubble bath. I got a massage. I'm just going to show you guys all of that good stuff. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know, guys. I want you to do great. I want you to be great. I want you to be a RDH, okay? So let me know what I can do to help you guys. Make sure you're writing clear and concise because sometimes I know you guys are from different countries. It's harder for me to exactly answer what you need to know. So let me know if I need to do Google Translate. Like, let me know so I can help you guys. But yeah, I just want you guys to be great. Like and follow me on Instagram. Y'all can DM me on Instagram. Yeah, and we are now on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Y'all, one more thing before I go. I know I have the worst handwriting in history, but whatever, I can still read it. I wanted to show you guys the scratch sheet of paper that I used to practice writing down everything. So in boards, what you'll do is you have not like a whiteboard, but like you have a board where you can write stuff on and use a dry erase marker to, you know, erase stuff and jot stuff down. So what I did was, you can have your scratch sheet of paper, and as soon as you get into your boards, you can go in and write down, just dump all the knowledge that you have and that you can remember onto the whiteboard. So this is what I practiced writing down, because I knew that I would kind of like forget some things. But this is also a great study method, because you're writing repetitively, you can remember certain things. But this is what I wrote down on my whiteboard. Literally, I wrote everything that you see here down. I remember all of this, thankfully. It did come in handy for certain questions that I kind of got stuck on. But like at the top corner, you can see like the vital signs. This is man. This is the tooth eruption rate. I got this from Claire, RDH, for those who are wondering. The arteries, how to remember how the arteries ascended into the head, the cranium, the 12 cranial nerves, which is another thing I struggled with. Claire broke this down immaculately. Like, there's no way I would have remembered my cranial nerves if it wasn't for her coming up with this drawing, how to remember the cranial nerves. So I highly, highly, highly recommend looking her up to see how to study the cranial nerves. Also, another mnemonic to help remember the cranial nerves. There's a way to remember this, and there's a reason why it's written like this. Let's see, spicy latte. I got this from NDHBE app. Pumpkin spice latte, so scrumptious. Don't ask me his hierarchy of needs. In the same car, serious, bad. This is for the cancer or carcinoma. This is how to remember different cancers. So this is what I use. If you might need to add something or take away, you don't have to study what I did, but this is just the stuff that I wanted to write down, because I knew I would kind of struggle with remembering them. But I wrote this down over and over a couple of times so I can remember to jot it down when I actually go to my boards, and this helped me tremendously. Real quick, these are the books that are for sale. If you are interested, like I said, DM me. Here are the prices. I know it's kind of janky, but here are the prices that I have. Excuse my ugly handwriting, but these are for sale. That's not for sale, but these are for sale. I got some hand instruments. I got a snap array. And these are just cassettes for the Cavitron tips. These left and right tips are still for sale. If you guys are interested, this box is for sale. Everything's for sale. So y'all let me know if y'all are interested, and we can hook you up. I might even give some discounts depending on how many books you guys buy. But yeah, let me know. Y'all, I decided to take a little study break, and I want to show you guys what I've been using to study for boards. First is the case studies in dental hygiene 3rd edition. I've been just going through the case studies, and what I do, instead of reading everything, because it takes up so much time for me, I just decided to go through, of course, read everything, read the case, read the assessments, the health study, the radiographs, images, all of that, and then go through the questions. Now, when I read the questions, I'll guess in my head what I think it is based on what I've read. After that, instead of me taking the actual time out to do it, I just go to the back and I look at the questions, because it's easier for me to learn that way anyways, and I need to know why I missed or got this question right. So rationales really do help, and these case studies actually come with rationales and explains to you why that question is what it is and why the other ones are not the right answer. So it helps me a lot. And of course, I got my other books. I got my dental hygiene board book by Claire. I've been using that. I'm going to go back through that today, as well as the Darby's Comprehensive Review. I'm going to use this later once I finish all my modules in Claire. I'm just going to go back through all the questions, the quizzes in here, and then I'm going to use this. So these three, as well as the Andy's app, I've been using a flashcard to do that. So that's what I've been using to study. Everything else is just a lot. I take my boards next Wednesday, so I'm going to pass. I'm manifesting it. I'll let you guys know how I felt, how it went, and all that good stuff. you.